Point should be added here that this is why after the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, from which he was liberated and then migrated, his mother also disappeared, and she was never heard of again, Hazrat Maryam. So within a few days she disappeared. So did she also go to heaven, if heaven is the place where Awainahuma? See?
Yeah.
Right. Now I have a few more points to raise in relation to this question, because they mislead the common people by this verse so much that even if you produce some very powerful, solid argument from in other areas, when they come to this verse, they say it's very clear. لَيُؤْمِنَنَّ بِهِ قَبْلَ مَوْتِهِ. So by qabla mawtihi, they refer he to Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. And even if they refer it to, the argument would be that because if you write that Jesus lived for 120 years and he survived the crucifixion, then within 120 years of his life, all the members of the Bani Israel community should have accepted him, and it did not happen. So they say because Quran cannot be wrong, so our argument is right that he refers to Jesus alayhi salatu wasalam. Qabla mawtihi. So before his death, they will accept him. And because they have not accepted him, so he has not died. Understand? But who are they? That is the question. Bani Israel are those who will believe. So the act of Nun Saqila is related to Bani Israel. And who were the Bani Israel at the time of Jesus Christ? They are mentioned. So whichever side you turn the he, the net result would be exactly the same. Who is going to believe? Not those who will be born in future, but Bani Israel at the time of Jesus Christ, because this verse is continuous. And they will believe before his death. So the question is, if he is still alive and they died and they do not believe in him, then the Quran is wrong. So you can't save Quran from being wrong if you misinterpret it. It is your wrong interpretation which has proved the Quran wrong. No fault of the Quran. Now, he mentioned yesterday, Ubada, that they say the Nun Saqila has to be in future, and because the verse was revealed to Hazrat Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so we will start the future from his time onwards, not before it. Right? First of all, this is the style in every language. The future, relative future, is also mentioned in the past, like he would do it. So it is the same style in Arabic, and the Holy Quran also speaks of such things. لَتَرْكَبُنَّ طَبَقًا عَنْ طَبَقٍ. All mankind, not after the Rasulullah Sallam when this verse is revealed, but before, right from the start of the creation of mankind, are included in this address. And the address is definitely with Nun Saqila in future. That, oh you mankind, you will rise and progress, layer upon layer, stage after stage. This is the verdict of God which we see fulfilled in evolution and other things. So although the man is addressed, but he is addressed even before he is born. And Nun Saqila is still applicable. Because as if God is speaking before the creation, and those who follow, they will go through this taqdeer of God. that they will rise not suddenly, they will not spontaneously be born, but they will develop stage after stage after stage. So there is another Nun Thaqila which begins its action even before the creation of man. But with reference to the beginning, the progress is in future. So the act of Nun Sakina is still in future, but relative future. But for the time being, I leave that, because some thick-headed people will not agree, I know that. But I come to now the time of Rasulullah sallam. Was this verse revealed to Rasulullah sallam or not? Was it not revealed 1400 some years before? It was, and certainly it was. Then why didn't Nun Thaqila work? If it couldn't work for the time of Jesus, it should have started working from the time of Muhammad Rasulullah sallam, when this verse was revealed to him. So there the statement is, now, O Prophet of God, im min ahlil kitab la yu'minanna bihi qabla mawtihi. Then at least the people of Azur sallallahu alaihi wasallam's age, the Ahl Kitab who lived there, they should have believed in Jesus Christ if he were alive. But they know they didn't. So their meaning is definitely wrong, because otherwise the Quran has to be wrong, and the Quran cannot be wrong. But another way of looking at it is also very interesting. The Quran has no contradiction whatsoever in it. Absolutely. If this verse, according to the twisted interpretation, means Jesus is still alive, what about that verse which says, Ma Muhammadun illa Rasul, Qad khalat min qablahi Rusul? Nun Thaqila is speaking of future. This verse is speaking of the past. So what a contradiction it would be. One verse revealed to the Holy Prophet ﷺ tells him that before you, Jesus, because he was also a prophet, all prophets have died, so Jesus has to be one of those. And Nun Thaqila comes and says, no, I tell you, Prophet, that he is still alive, he will live in future, and the future generation will believe in him. So what a fantastic contradiction. The Holy Prophet, in one breath, is told that before you all have died. In the other breath, he is told, no, Jesus Christ is not dead, he will live on. So this is impossible, because there is no contradiction in the Holy Quran. Whoever believes there is a contradiction, he is a non-believer. But that is not the only verse. The Holy Quran has so many other verses speaking specifically, clearly of death of Jesus Christ, which means that he is dead. So now translate it. وَإِن مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ لَيُؤْمِنَنَّ بِهِ قَبْلَ مَوْتِهِ. إِن مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ إِلَّا لَيُؤْمِنَنَّ بِهِ قَبْلَ مَوْتِهِ. When the Quran has declared he is dead, what was the meaning of this verse? The only meaning which is possible is the one which I suggested now. If not the only meaning, at least one of the meanings which hold sense, definitely, is that im min ahlil kitabi means in hizbun min ahlil kitabi illa yu'minanna bihi qabla mawtihi. He would not die until he has delivered the message to all his Azab of Bani Israel to whom he was sent. And until the message is delivered and they believe in him through proxy, like Farz-e Kifaya. Iman is also like Farz-e Kifaya. If people from all Azab, a few from this and a few from that, believe in the Holy Prophet Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, then this verse will be fulfilled. And this could only happen if Jesus lived after the crucifixion. Not in the heaven, but here upon the earth. He moved on from one tribe to another, delivered the message, and with the grace of Allah, they accepted him. Now, having said that, I turn back to the future they refer to. Can they offer a single example of any prophet who was rejected by his people altogether, and God did not take notice of that? And instead of that, a few thousand years after that, all the people believe in him. Why? What is the purpose? Why didn't it happen to Noah? Why were they all destroyed? God should have said, don't worry, Noah, they have refused, they rejected you, but I see to it that you do not die until they all believe in you. In case of Noah, it was more applicable and sensible, because they believe he lived for 950 years. In 950 years, great changes take place. See? So what was the hurry? That God destroyed all these people. Moreover, under which principle God will do it, make it happen? When Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is rejected, Allah tells him that however much you desire, those who will not believe will not believe. And what is that special treatment to the Jews of the latter days? What good have they earned? Because they slaughtered the Palestinians and captured the Muslim territories and ran away with whatever they liked? Is that what God loves so much? That now when Jesus Christ, they all will believe. So it's fantastic, unbelievable. Stupidity heaped upon stupidity. I've never seen such a big heap of stupidity. Please. But you have missed that point.
Which one?
If God has blessed the Bani Israel of the present age to accept the Prophet of the time who appeared 2000 years ago, all of them together, it's a blessing of God which is unique, which has never happened before, which was denied to us as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, positively. You think because you desire you will make them believers? No. Because they will not, Allah will not turn them into believers. Whatever you do, you can't change them. So the blessing which was denied by God to Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that because you want to see the whole world Muslims, they will not turn into Muslims, because God will not turn anybody against his will. So this is a favor denied to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This will be granted to Masih, that all his people of an age would believe in him. They have to have earned some pleasure of God. Otherwise, those who do not earn the pleasure of God, they are not unnecessarily bestowed such favors. So the goodness must lie with them. If it lies with Isa alayhi salam, according to the ulama, then Isa alayhi salam, na'uzubillah min zalik, is better than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He didn't have that goodness that for his sake Allah converted all the people of his age. But for Jesus, he did. So obviously, this does not mean that the favor shown to these people is because of Jesus. The favor is shown because of their goodness. So, who is Khaira Ummah? Bani Israel. Kuntum Khaira Ummatin is wrongly addressed. Such a nation had never appeared in all the history of humans. That at last they believed, all of them, 100%, in their Prophet. So this, they must have done something very good, very special. So I suggested maybe what they are doing today to the world of Islam, maybe this is what Allah loves most. What they are doing to the Palestinians, what they have been recently doing to them. So maybe because of this, Allah is so happy. He says, "Oh, my children of Israel, now you deserve, all of you, to be counted among believers." Is this what they believe? The belief is so wrong, so twisted, that unbelievable, you know. Their head should be operated upon. That's only advice I can render. Please. The last thing I should like to warn the Palestinian Muslims who are hoping, according to the mullahs, against the Quranic verdict, that one day they will inherit the Arz Muqaddasa, and it will be taken away from the Jews and handed over to them. According to the mullahs, they are living in a fool's dream. Because when Jesus Christ comes and all the Jews believe in him 100%, they will be the object of that verse, Innal arda yarithuha ibadiya salihun. Because what better people, what more salihun can you expect than a people who become all of them believers? So how can God dispossess them after they have become salihun? He didn't mind as long as they occupied Palestine while they were not salihun. But once Jesus comes, as they believe he would, then all of them would be salihun, then God will throw them out. And then wouldn't they put the Quranic verse before him and said, "Oh God, what are you doing? When we have become salihun, you throw us out." This cannot happen. So forget about that virsa. So Yarasuha ibadiyu salihun means Jews will continue to hold that, because they would become ibadiyu salihun after they believe in Jesus Christ. Okay, please. That's the last verdict. Don't be sad, because the interpretation is wrong. Don't take it seriously, right? He's the only Palestinian among us, so I said, when he heard it, he took it too seriously. Perhaps if the ulama is right, then we are out.